all right? Hello, that's okay. Okay? This is so cold, chill, even then you have come. Congratulations. I'm seriously thinking to stop the classes, suspend the class from December. I was thinking from 15th, let us see if from past to December. Let us begin with that famous sloka, Tabukathamritam Tapta Jivanam Kaviviriritam Kalmashapaham Sravana Mangalam Srimadatam Bhuvi Grinanti E Bhurida Janaha. The last we were discussing about in a question that one gentleman he asked, what are the paths to realize God? Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said there are two paths, paths of knowledge, discrimination and renunciation, that is the path of knowledge, devotion and love, that is the path of bhakti. So these are the two. The path of jnana, here the similar type of answers we get, ekadha bahudha chaiva drishyate jalachandravat. Ekadha, ek, one, is reflecting, or it seems to be many, ekadha bahudha cha eva, as many, drishyate, where jalachandravat, in the water, when the reflection of moon is there, the one moon reflects in so many numbers. The ordinary people, the children, the ignorant, they will think that so many moons are there, but it's actually one moon. Similarly, the knowledge, same one single God manifested in different names and form. This is the ultimate truth, and the moment we understand this knowledge, that very moment we realize God. That very moment we are religious. Swami Vivekananda is telling religion is a realization. And what is that realization? This, the God is one. Now immediately the question comes, then am I different from God? No, I am also the same. My name, my form may be different, but I am the same God. So that is called realization. And the moment I understand that I am the same God, all that we see all around, different names and forms, are the manifestation of the same God. That is called path of knowledge, Jnana Marga. This Jnana Marga, again in the Shetashatara Upanishad, it says, Eko Deva Sarva Bhuteshu Gudaha. Almost all the Hindu scriptures, particularly the Vedantic scriptures, afterwards some people, because they like to understand, because they like to think God separate and I am separate, they have developed a different type of philosophy. That is a different question, different things to discuss. Eko Deva, one God. Eka Devo. Sarva Bhuteshu Gudaha. He is inside in all being, inside all being, manifested in different names and forms. So this is the beauty of Sanatana Dharma, Hinduism, one in different forms. But we don't like to accept it. Why? Because psychologically, mentally, we like to understand many as many. And there, that is the root of all miseries. The misery comes from there. But that is the nature. And what is sadhana? What is the austerity? Spiritual austerity, spiritual sadhana is only to understand this truth that is called the path of knowledge. This knowledge is the basis of religious harmony too. There are so many different varieties of religion. Our Vivekananda ji, last 2-3 days, he was attending the harmony of religions in the parliament of religions. What is this parliament of religions? What is this harmony of religions? Is that mean only one religion should be there and people should follow only one path, one philosophy, one God, one process of worship? No. That is totally wrong. There are many. Apparently there are many. But understanding that all are same, that is called knowledge. That's why Swami Vivekananda said, a Christian need not to convert himself into a Hindu should not convert himself into a Christian, but all should be good. How they can become good? By understanding this truth. I am only traveling through a path, that's all. Because I like it, I like Jesus, or I like this type of the formalities and the rituals that I like, I am traveling in that path. So that is called knowledge. This knowledge of oneness bring peace in individual and can become the source of peace among different religious groups. The words Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, as if casually said, the moment he asked a question, pat came the reply. What is that? A God can be realized through two paths. One is path of knowledge, another path of devotion. And this is the path of knowledge. Now the question may be, why we see so many different varieties? Why the God has not created only one? There is no answer to this. Ekaham bahushyamavihi. The Hindus, they believe that maybe the one, that Almighty God, all pervading God, that all consciousness maybe thought that I want to become many. And he became many. It is his sports. And this variety that we see is nothing but that same one God in different forms. It goes back to where? In the same one. Mandukya Karika says, Maya matram idam dvaitam. Advaitam paramarthataha. Paramarthataha means actually, in reality. This is only Advaita, this is only one. See the beauty of it. Only we do not understand, so all they criticize Hinduism. Hinduism has made so many castes and all these things, and then there are so many varieties of rituals. That is external. Different situation, different type of social norms come, and it is imposed on true religion. Now the grandfather constructed a house, And for him, the lot of decorations outside, because that was the fashion, he did it in that way. Then his son said, such a big rooms it is not necessary. Make one room such a big, it's just like a hall. Why a person should use that? Make it two. And that is all right. And the grandson came on the same building, he said, why not make it 10th floor so that we can give it on hire, and then we can collect the rents, we can earn a lot of money. So same building, different type of people are coming and different type of ideas they are imposing on that. But what is the basis? The same building. Similarly, the religion stand in one place. God is one. But man call him, human call him Pandits, and the religious people call him in different names. So there stands the real truth. Maya matram idam dvaitam. Only that we see so many varieties is the Maya. What is that Maya? Is a huge, big discussion. Very difficult to explain, but we understand it, realize it, feel it every moment. So that is Maya. It is a peculiar conception, one which is not there, we think it is there, that is called Maya. So this is a conception we always feel, we always realize, we always feel within us but do not understand. That is called Maya. But Advaita Paramarthataha, the God's delusive power, it says, the God's delusive power. What is that Maya? Delusive power. To help people remember this fact. The rishis have kept the name of this world as Jagat. In Sanskrit, this world is known as Jagat. The word Jagat has, we all know that the Sanskrit is called root. The word is created from a root. What is that root? Gam. From the gam dhatu, the root is in Sanskrit it is called dhatu. The gam dhatu means changing, moving, forwarding. That is called gam. From that gam dhatu has come Jagat, constantly changing. Similarly, the human society has named all this external thing as samsara, another Sanskrit word of the world. Samsara in Sanskrit they say the families or the world. So this samsara again is coming from the root Sri. This Sri means moving, changing. That's called samsara. Constantly changing, constantly moving. But those who are here, they constantly think that it is permanent. That is called Maya. Thing that is changing again and again, when we are accepting that as a permanent, that is called Maya. So unless and until one is developing this knowledge, he cannot realize God or Brahman, and he can never become peaceful. He can never get peace. Adi Shankaracharya, he is giving a wonderful way. Kurute Ganga Sagara Gamanam Brata Paripalana Athava Danam Jnana Bihine Sarvamanena Muktina Bhavati Janmashatena Bhaja Govindam Bhaja Govindam Govindam Bhaja Mudamate. He is speaking about the knowledge. At the same time, he is asking a devotee to develop devotion for the Govinda. What is the Govinda? It's Krishna. What is the meaning of the Govinda? The master of the senses. The moment one can control his senses, her senses, her mind, his mind, then he realizes or she realizes God. That's called Govinda. Kurute Ganga Sagara Gamanam. Ganga Sagar, it is in Bengal, is the confluence of the Ganga and the Sagar, the Ganges and the ocean, Bay of Bengal. These two in one place it is merging, and there the Kapila, the famous Muni, he has his ashrama, thousands of people from all over India, they come, they bathe over there, etc. And it is so difficult. Nowadays it has become easy. But in those days it was so difficult, it is only one time in one's life one could go. So they used to say, in other places of pilgrimage you can go again and again. But Ganga Sagar is only one in lifetime. Now of course so many people are coming again and again. So Shankaracharya knew this place. In his time also Ganga Sagar was there. Kurute Ganga Sagara Gamanam. You are going to Ganga Sagar, to the pilgrimage. Brata Paripalana. And you are practicing austerity. That's good. Athava Danam. You are giving charity, you are giving alms, you are giving donations. That's also good. But Jnana Bihine, without knowing why you are doing this, Jnana Bihine, without knowing the knowledge, without understanding that knowledge, Sarvam Anena, all these that you are doing, Muktina Bhavati Janma Shatena. By doing all these things, life after life, hundreds of lives, innumerable numbers of lives you may live, but unless and until you get that knowledge, you are not getting the mukti. Then the devotee asked, what is the other path? Then Sri Ramakrishna said, the path of bhakti. And immediately he said, it is jealous love for God. Zealous love for God. Then he said, God may be with attribute, without attribute. He may be sakara or also may be nirakara. Now God is there. He is with form, without form. He is all pervading. But the thing is, God has become everything doesn't mean I am God. I cannot claim like that. God is me, that's true, but I am not God. This we have to understand. The God is me, God has become me, manifested as me. But I don't understand that. I have not realized that. I have my ego, I have my personality, so I am actually separated from God. So what has to be done? In the Vishnu Shatpadi, it describes like this, and our Turiyanandaji Maharaj, he used to quote it many times in his letters, he has written, Satyapi Veda Apagame Natha Tabaham na Mamuki Nastvam. Satyapi, it is true, O Lord. Natha means, O Lord, it is true. When the illusion vanishes, one can realize that you have become me. But it will be wrong to say, I have become you. I cannot claim that I have become God. How it is? Then immediately he is giving a simile. It says, Samudrohi Taranga, the wave of the ocean, Kachana Samudro na Tarangaha. But the waves cannot be called as ocean. The ocean is having waves, but the waves cannot be called as ocean. So So these we have to understand again, otherwise it will be difficult. Satya api Veda apagame natha tabaham na mamukena stvam samudro hi taranga kachana samudro na tarangaha. The unique sloka, the unique way he is explaining it. Path of knowledge and path of devotion are not separate, rather they are complementary, helping each other. In the Bhagavad Gita 18 chapter 55 sloka, Sri Krishna declares, Bhakta mam avijanati yavan yaschashmi tattataha tato mam tattato gyatva vishate tat tadantaram. The Bhagavad Gita is a wonderful book. Bhagavad Gita is not only for the Hindus. We cannot simply claim that it is a religious book for one sect or religious followers. No, not like that. It gives the truth, particularly the wonderful psychology that develops through these. This is called Bhakta Mam Abhijanati. Through the path of devotion, devotee comes to know me, both by extent, yavan. What is that yavan? What am I? Yavan. Yaschashmi, my essence, who am I? Knowing me thus in truth and in reality, tattataha, devotee enters into me. So this is the way, it is a devotion and knowledge. So it is not separate, it is the same. When a devotee, through the devotion with the personal God, moving towards God, approaching God, after realizing God in reality, understand that God is nothing but all this whole universe. So that is the knowledge again through devotion, and devotion is better than knowledge in this age. Afterwards, we will hear Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is suggesting, and now we find the Shetashwara Upanishad, Shetashvatara, Ashwa, Ashwa means the horse, Shweta means white. It is as if a white horse, Sheta Ashvatara, Shetashvatara Upanishad, it says, Yasya Devi Para Bhakti, Yasya, who feels highest devotion for God. Yasya Devi Para Bhakti, Para means highest. Bhakti, devotion. Yasya Devi Para Bhakti, Yatha Devi Tatha Guru. Again, God, an abstract, as a something that I have not seen right this moment, someone about whom I only get some idea, but I can't see, I can touch, I can hear, I can't converse. So that God again comes in a human form as Guru. Yatha Devi Tatha Guru. Who is a Guru? Is a holy person guiding the human being to the true path. Yasya Devi Para Bhakti, Yatha Devi Tatha Guru. And also for his Guru, the preceptor, same devotion, Tashvaite Kathita Arthaha Prakashante Mahatmanaha. Mahatmana means highest minded person. Swami Prabhavananda translating Mahatma as a highest minded person. What is that highest minded person? Because he is self totally unselfish. He don't feel for himself or herself. Totally unselfish. His love for each and everyone, and there is no discrimination. So that is called the highest minded person, Mahatmanaha. And Prakashante, it manifests. If this truth have been told to a person of highest minded person, then they will surely shine forth prakashanti. Prakasha means shine. Prakashanti, it will shine forth in that way. Yasya devi parabhakti yatha devi tatha guru tasyaite kathita artha prakashanti mahatmanaha. This Shetashatra Upanishad, 6th chapter, 23rd sloka. Now, we are beginning another chapter in the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. This is Sunday, February 18, 1883. Sri Ramakrishna arrived at Govinda Mukherjee's house at Belghoria. It is a suburb of Calcutta. Now it is under Greater Calcutta. Besides Narendra, Rama, other devotees, some of Govinda's neighbors were present. This is the beauty Sri Ramakrishna used to practice. We also continue. He used to go to different corner of the city and also the state and different places of the country also, but his concentration was Calcutta, because Calcutta was the capital of the then undivided India. So he wanted to spread his message as the Buddha spreaded his message in the Kashi, the Benares. Shankara also spread. First he came to Kashi, the Benares. That is the system in those days. Then afterwards the seat of learning changed and it became Calcutta, because it was for a long time the capital of the Britishers, and that is why the Calcutta became the hub of knowledge, particularly modern scientific technological knowledge. And that is the reason the present day the God in the form of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he advented in Bengal, and then he came to so near to Calcutta in Dakshineshwar, but now it is again Calcutta. By the side of the Ganga, on the bank of the Ganga, he developed this knowledge, and after that he started visiting the devotees' houses in different corner. We were reading the other day, he visited one devotee's house. Today he has come to Belghoria, and wherever he used to go, he wanted that the neighbors should come in that house. So he used to tell that devotee to invite his neighbors. Same old devotees, followers used to go, but new faces, new people. So they used to come, they used to get acquainted, associated with the ideology of Sri Ramakrishna. Then here Master first sang and danced with the devotees. Why this dancing? Because Kirtana. The Bengalis are habituated to, Bengalis are not having a dance as we find in other parts of Bengal, Kuchipuri, Bharatanatyam, and then Odissi, all this. In Bengal it is nothing like that, but they have a devotional dance that is called Kirtan. With the Kirtan they used to dance. It is only mainly for the males, because in those days females were not that way free to come and dance with the male. So the mostly males they used to dance, and it was introduced 500 years, Sri Ramakrishna's 500 years before, by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And this is a dance not to impress other people, but to impress God. Forgetting the body through the devotion, they used to dance like that. So Sri Ramakrishna first sang and danced with the devotees. After the Kirtan, they sat down. Master saluted. Many saluted the Master. Now and then the Master said, bow before God. He is telling, why to me bow before God? This is his humbleness. 2-3 things we can observe in this very simple. The first is the Kirtan, dance, song and offering pranam. This was practiced by the Vaishnavas for a long time, from the time of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that is, we can say nearly 700 years before from now. But only dancing and singing and then sitting over there and eating prasad and going away, that was wrong. So Sri Ramakrishna again with the devotion mixing up the knowledge. So here he is telling, bow before God, and then it is God alone who has become all this. Look at it. He was singing with a kirtana. When we read the gospel, we simply read and we complete the book, and then we say we have already completed the gospel. But we forget the social condition and the subtle way the Sri Ramakrishna introducing and mixing devotion and knowledge, path of devotion and path of knowledge together. This is unique. He was dancing with the kirtana, and then he sat, then he's turning the discussion, the point, initiating that idea. It is God alone who has become all this. But in certain places, for instance, in a holy man, there is a greater manifestation. Now, why you should respect a holy person? Because the manifestation of God is more in him. How can you understand that manifestation of God is more in a holy person? Because he is dispassionate for the worldly things. Name, fame, all these things he don't want. I was just reading, today I was reading in the computer that a police is coming, approaching to arrest a so-called holy person. And he is hiding somewhere, and all his devotees are fighting back. So many things are going on. Why a holy person should do like that, I do not know. We cannot understand that. Can you call that person a holy? He is selfless. Why? Go and face before the court of law what is there. I have not done anything. So this way, the approach to God, very simple, guileless, egoless, I-consciousnessless, but love for each and every one without discrimination. This is very important. Love for my kith and kin, love for my own cluster, love for my own family, or the people where I am born, that is only a narrow love. That is called Maya. But the love for the each and every being, that is divine. Who has become all this? But in certain places, for instance, in a holy man, there is a greater manifestation than in others. You may say, there are wicked men also. That is true. Even as there are tigers and lions, but one need not hug the tiger god. One should keep away from him and salute him from a distance. Now, without understanding, without having the knowledge, the great mistake, fatal mistake we do. One young man, I think in Delhi, he was under the spell, the goddess Durga, she is sitting on a tiger. So obviously tiger is mother's pet animal. So he jumped in a arena where a tiger was there. He jumped inside and approached the tiger and wanted to girdle that tiger. Can you imagine? Of course, it was killed. Because the tiger was afraid. It is not habituated. This is the first time it was getting the garland. So naturally, why this young man did that mistake? Under the spell that tiger is the carrier of goddess Durga. It is a symbol. It's not the actual thing. But no one told him There's a symbol, Shere Wali in Hindi they say, Shere Wali. Shere Wali means what? The fierce, the tiger, which is the symbol of Rajaguna. That is held down by Mother, the Sattva Guna. She is controlling the Rajaguna, sitting on that Rajaguna. That is the symbol that we have to understand. Without understanding that. So the jnana, the knowledge is so important. Otherwise, we always make mistakes in the name of devotion, sometimes fatal mistakes, which we can say foolishness. Then here he is telling the God is there in the tiger and lion, it is true. But one cannot go and hug the tiger. One should keep away from him and salute him from distance. Take water for instance. Some water may be drunk, some may be used for worship, some for bathing, and some only for washing dishes. You cannot use the same water for all purposes. A neighbor, revered, said, "What are the doctrines of Vedanta?" In those days, even the ordinary people have started reading Vedanta. So, what is the doctrine of Vedanta? The master immediately said, Vedantist says, I am He. Brahman is real and the world illusory. Even the I is illusory. Only the Supreme Brahman exists. That is the Vedantin, they say. But immediately he is introducing bhakti. The bhakti, after the kirtan, he introduced jnana. And then when this person is asking about the jnana, Sri Ramakrishna understood that he is only trying to discuss something which is you cannot understand. So he is telling the path of bhakti. But I cannot be got rid of. Therefore, it is good to have the feeling, I am the servant of God, His son, His devotee. I, that ego, cannot be erased so easily. So it is better to turn that I as a servant of God, son of God, devotee of God. Then again he is telling, for the Kali Yuga, the path of bhakti is specially good. One can realize God through bhakti too. As long as one is conscious of the body, one is also conscious of objects. Form, taste, smell, sound and touch. These are the objects. It is extremely difficult to get rid of the consciousness of objects. And one cannot realize I am He as long as one is aware of objects. See how clear in his thoughts, in his ideas, in his explanation. Nothing wrong in practicing knowledge. But who can realize Brahman? That I am going to give that retreat step by step for the realization of the Brahman. The first is the goal, second is, are you prepared? Are you ready? This is the second step. So who can really understand that? I was talking with a devotee today. There's some people, they think that they will understand God without understanding even the basic Shama, Dama, Upurati, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhana. This Shadasampatti. Suppose a person who is not that smart to understand the physics, chemistry, mathematics or science subjects, and now if he wants to become a scientist or a doctor or an engineer, it will be devastating for him, total failure. So it is better to approach that same knowledge through other path, which is he can understand, he can do better. So the path of knowledge is there, but to practice it is very difficult. So path of bhakti is also there, leading to the same goal, to knowledge. Here it says, Sri Ramakrishna is telling, for the Kali Yuga, the path of bhakti is specially good. one can realize God through bhakti too. Now he is telling the sannyasi is very little conscious of worldly objects. This is the true sannyasi. Very little conscious about the worldly objects. One must understand that. In Vrindavan, I wanted to see a temple. A lot of advertisement came about that. People were talking about that temple. And when I went over there, and they were telling about of course, the devotees, they were boasting, look at our temple, the beauty of the temple. Now people won't go to see the other places. They will all come over here to see the building, the beauty, the construction. I told, the temple is good, but inside the temple, the God is far better. That you have to develop. So otherwise, that people won't go to Taj Mahal. That's a beautiful construction, beautiful. That people go over there to see the beauty of the construction. And they are coming to temple to see the same Taj Mahal here. The wrong conception. Make it neat and clean and beautiful, no problem. Architectural beauty also okay, because those who are working on that, they will also get an opportunity to develop their knowledge, express their knowledge. But that is not the goal of the devotee. The devotee should go inside the temple to see the God. That's why Sri Ramakrishna is telling, sannyasi is very little conscious of worldly objects, but the householder is always engrossed in them. Therefore, it is good for him to feel, I am the servant of God. This is very, very important. So that is why the difference between sannyasi and the householder. Because of the psychology, because of the mentality, because of the temperament, because of the outlook. So this outlook, if it is not there, then a sannyasi wearing a gerua cannot be a sannyasi. And if that type of attitude is there in a householder, then he cannot be called as a householder, he is rather a sannyasi. The neighbor asking, sir, we are sinners, what will happen to us? Now this is the question we were dealing with in our last class in Sunday, why should we meditate? There in that Patanjali Yogodarshan, we were discussing about this. Look at the answer of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. It is so clear. Sir, we are sinners. What will happen to us? The Master, all the sins of the body fly away if one chants the name of God and sing His glory. This is so simple. All the sins of the body fly away if one chants the name of God and sings His glory. Now, as it is, Sri Ramakrishna is elaborating this, again you find that the water of a reservoir, is giving an example. Reservoir dug in a meadow is evaporated by the heat of the sun. Likewise, the water of the reservoir of sin is dried up by the singing of the name and glories of God. So you must practice it every day. That is why the introduction of the Nama Japa, Diksha and all these things, because of this. The people get an opportunity, a system to go on repeating the name of God. In the beginning, not very conscious of it, not properly knowing, by sheer habit, slowly they start getting the benefit of it. Like the medicine when we are taking without knowing anything, but afterwards we get the benefit of it by curing our diseases. So similarly, the name of God, so easy. So this is what Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is telling. And we discussed, as we can remember, some of you were there, that what happens, because they say there are three types of result of karma. One is sanchit. Sanchita means reserved. Then prarabdha, the work, result of work has already started bearing fruits. And then what I am going to get now. So, agami, what I am going to get in the future days. That is in my hand. I must be careful not to do anything which will hurt others. That is in my hand. And the prarabdha, it may continue in that way, but by calling on God, remembering God, maybe the intensity of that will be reduced, sure. One boy who came to Mother, Ma Sharadamani Devi, and he was complaining, Ma, you told that name of God, the chanting of the name of God, that it's helping us in every way, but now look at me, I have cut my finger, even after taking so much of God's name. Then the mother told, you were supposed to be amputated, the whole leg. Because you are taking the name of God, only a little, because it is the prarabdha, but intensity of that prarabdha even can be modified, adjusted by the name of God. So that is, and of course the sanchit, it can be burned, jnanagni dagdha karmani. So the moment the God is gracious on me, He burnt all that sanchit karma, I need not to suffer. Prarabdha can also be adjusted, and when my mind is at the feet of God, so naturally I will never do anything which is harmful to others. So that is, karma theory actually makes a man moral. Here I find again, then he is telling, weep at least once to see God. Weep at least once to see God. These then he is concluding, these then are two means, practice and passionate attachment to God. In the path of bhakti, only two things are necessary. One is practice regularly. Maybe sometimes it is just dull, boring, but still we have to go on practicing. This is very important. And passionate attachment to God, that is to say, restlessness of the soul to see Him. Then Sri Ramakrishna started singing a song to elaborate that idea through song. So this is what we find in Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. He is very clear and he is explaining everything in so nice way, simple way, so that people can understand. And if we can conclude that there are mainly two paths. One is path of knowledge, and that knowledge means God has become everything. But that doesn't mean unless and until I understand God and merge it with God, I cannot say I have become God. No. Or I am God. No. The God has become me, like the ocean and his waves. But the wave cannot be called as ocean. It has other water also without the waves. So obviously that we cannot give the limit that I am God, nothing else. No. You can be a part of God, wave of an ocean. So this is what the way he is telling. And then the second is the path of bhakti. What is necessary? Practice. First, of course, the faith. And then the practice and passionate attachment to God. What is that passionate attachment to God? It is the love for God. How? Just like a child, I am the father or the mother, I have to take care of God. He doesn't know how to sleep. He doesn't know how to eat. He doesn't he can't take care of himself. I have to take care, as Mother Jashoda used to do. That's called passionate attachment. And there are many other moods are also there. Now, after hearing the song, Sri Ramakrishna went into samadhi. His whole body became still, and his hand remained touching the plate of food. He was eating food. And while he was eating food on the first floor, in the basement, on the ground floor, one person was singing a song. It's a very good song, Jaguma Kula Kundalini. Arise, awake, O my mother Kula Kundalini. The moment that song he heard, he went into samadhi. We know samadhi means the ultimate goal of yoga. He was talking about jnana, he was talking about the bhakti. Here we find the same person, he has achieved the ultimate of yoga. And here again we find in the same person going house to house, karma yoga. So in Sri Ramakrishna we find all the four paths meeting: jnana, bhakti, yoga, and karma. This karma yoga, dhyana yoga, jnana yoga, bhakti yoga, all in that personality. So that is why Sri Ramakrishna's life is so important. We always read so many scriptural books. After reaching over here, I find in the whole of America, particularly among the Indian devotees, they are very, very eager to understand the Vedanta. There are small groups here and there, almost everywhere, wherever I have gone. The Gita Parayan, Gita, this thing. But what is Gita? Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is telling, Gita means Tyagi. If you are repeating the word Gita again and again, then it becomes Tyagi. Renunciation, renunciation, renunciation. That is the teaching of Gita. Do you see any reflection of that teaching of Bhagavad Gita? No. Why? Because majority of the people are not interested, but only chanting together and then pronouncing all those things, memorizing. That is sort of a thing that we always do. It's nothing bad, very good. Rather good than going over here and there and socializing and spending time. It's very good. But better or the best is to understand the knowledge. That is why Sri Ramakrishna, we found that after the Kirtana, he is talking about the knowledge. After the knowledge again, he is talking about the bhakti, and he is impressing and he is giving the idea that in this Kali Yuga, bhakti is the best, and the bhakti again takes us to such a devotion that just by hearing a song, he goes into samadhi. Then Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning devotees like devotees like Rakhal, Narendra, Bhavanath may be called Nitya Siddhya. Their spiritual consciousness has been awake since their very birth. Look at it, the certificate he is giving to this. They assume human bodies only to impart spiritual illumination to others. There is another class of devotees known as Kripa Siddha. That is to say, those on whom the grace of God descends all of a sudden. And we can say the Girish Ghosh, Kripa Siddha, he did so many mistakes. Apparently we see so many mistakes, but he gets the Kripa. There was another person who used to sit at the door of Sri Ramakrishna. He was, of course, he was in a relation, he was also the brother of Sri Ramakrishna, in relation. But he used to go on criticizing Sri Ramakrishna. And when Sri Ramakrishna became very sick, the devotees brought him to Calcutta. They hired a small house in the North Calcutta, Shampukur. He came. Because without Sri Ramakrishna, nobody will allow him to stay in the Dakshinesh. And when Sri Ramakrishna was there, when he was allowed to stay in the Dakshineshwar, he used to criticize Sri Ramakrishna. So these type of people, they are very peculiar. They are sitting on the same tree where he is cutting. He is sitting on the branch of a tree and cutting the same branch. Similarly, he was sitting at Dakshineshwar, enjoying the Dakshineshwar, staying over there, getting free food, accommodation, because of Sri Ramakrishna, criticizing all through. Now the Sri Ramakrishna has left. No one was allowing him to stay there. Do you know where he came? He came to that house where Sri Ramakrishna was there. But it was a small house. The Sri Ramakrishna, the Ma Saradamani Devi herself, one should go to see that house. How she took the responsibility to serve Sri Ramakrishna and the devotees, and herself living in such a small place, smaller than the Dakshineshwar room. It was not a room, it is just a landing, staircase landing. There he used to cook, he used to keep all things, he used to sleep over there, and only one washroom was there, all male devotees in those days. So obviously she used to get up at 2 o'clock, finishing her bathing and all that, used to cook and all, and she was so happy. And that person, when he came over here, all devotees became so angry. They told, we cannot allow this person to stay over here. All through he has criticized Sri Ramakrishna. And now again he has come to stay with Sri Ramakrishna. No, that is not possible. We are bearing the paying money for the house and everything. We are not ready to pay for him. Sri Ramakrishna was sitting quiet. He is a Jagannatha. He is not doing anything. Either no or yes. You know, that person, this is the first time he went to Ma Saradamani Devi and he begged pardon. Ma, without your kripa, without your grace, I cannot survive. Then the mother told the devotees, let him stay. And not only that, she cried for that devotee. That is called kripa siddhya. We can say that because it is a kripa. He was not doing anything favorable, but still got the blessings of the Divine Mother, who was no other than the Shakti of Sri Ramakrishna. See, this way the God's grace comes. Only thing that we have to do, as Mother told us, you need not to do anything. Only call me Mother from the core of your heart. If you can call me Mother from the core of your heart, know it for sure. I am your real mother. I am not Guru Patni. I am not imaginary mother. I am your real mother. When nobody is by your side, I am there. When you are all right, well off, if you forget me, no problem. But when you see that nobody around, just remember me and know it for sure. She is giving the assurance, I am there with you. So that is the assurance of God, and the mother is no other than Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna himself in that form. Now let us conclude by offering our pranam to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Niranjanam nityam anantarupam bhaktanukampa drita vigraham vai ईशावतारम् परमेशमिड्यम् तं रामकृष्णं शिरसा नमामः। Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.